Hey everybody, welcome back to the Two Broke Gamers podcast. So what's going on? It is Ricky and Mike with Steve.
Steve, how you doing?
Good. Yeah. We got a little short little podcast today. Some good news and stuff, but of course some of our personal views on some news as well. That's how we flip our show. That's how we do things every week, every Friday on YouTube. Probably on other things as well. I've been doing some research. I'm trying to put this thing elsewhere, but for now we're on YouTube. So we're good on that. Now, we got lots of news, and of course, our second topic of the day would be about esports. Is it really a sport? And we have two experts ourselves of sports and gaming.
Of course.
And esports, and we can...
We're experts.
We're experts, I guess. We're two amateur broke guys trying to do some things on here.
We both like sports. We both like games, so we put
like
our opinions on it.
And we like esports.
Yeah.
And we like different kinds of esports, so that's the kicker thing too. Now, to start off our show, we have to continue from last week from E3, which one thing I did skip before we actually go to our main subject that I want to talk about with E3 is the fact that Ubisoft has a complete game done for the Wii U that they're not going to release until the Wii U sells more consoles.
Which I understand why they're doing that. They don't want to, I guess, produce a game that's not gonna sell because it's on a poor console.
No. I mean, the game's done.
The game might be done, but did they actually print the CD? Like did they actually make the physical copy of the game to ship out?
Don't believe so. Not as far as I've
So
read.
they might have put the man hours into it, but they didn't put the material cost into it just yet.
Yeah, but think about it though. If you're gonna put the time to do the game, I mean that's enough. That's kind of money wasted as it is. I mean, all these guys are kind of paid, but you're still in the hole for one game you never released.
You know, there's a saying called "cut your losses," so they don't want to lose even more by material cost and not selling the game if it's on a console that doesn't sell.
Oh, but it's moving though. We could start off even before we go into our view on Smash Fest. That I mean, Mario Kart 8 has bumped up the sales so much for the Wii U that the top selling games for last month, I can name the top two right now. Watch Dogs was number one, which was no surprise. It's still a hot game. It's good for all the consoles and PC. But then Mario Kart 8 is number two.
For the month of May, with just 2 days in the month of May.
Exactly. It was released on May 30th.
That's insane. Good going, Nintendo fans. Way to go.
Oh, that's the big hype that Mario Kart caused. You know, that was the big hype that it caused even on the Wii U. I mean, on the Wii. Even though, granted, the Wii sold a ton more consoles than a lot of the other consoles, but there was a lot of Mario Kart fans, Wii fans.
Yeah, which you and I had this conversation that I said there were two games that were going to save the Wii U, and that was Mario Kart, which clearly it is working to save it. And later in the winter, we're going to find out that Smash is going to save this console.
Now, going to Smash, we finally made our way to Smash Fest at Best Buy this past weekend.
We had a great time. We met some people out there. It was pretty cool. Well, I met some people out there. You left before I met these kids. But it definitely was a good time. We got to play the 3DS version as well, which we weren't expecting that. We were expecting to go just play the Wii U version, but we actually got to play the 3DS version, which was awesome.
That was great because I seriously thought, there was the only way you could play the 3DS version was through Nintendo World, which is why I went there and I wasted my time there because
you didn't get to play it.
I saw it being played, if it, whatever that counts for.
Yeah.
But I went down there just watching other people play it, and it sucked because great. I mean, there's more people waiting for the 3DS version than for the Wii U version. Fine, I get it, but I really wanted to play that 3DS version.
Yeah.
But how Best Buy, I really want to compliment the Best Buy and the Palisades where we went to because that was a much better experience. I mean, even though Nintendo World had a bunch of fans, and that was great too, the fans made it, but then the gameplay itself that I felt was a lot stiffer. But I said it last week. I felt like it was because of the wireless interference, where you have three different Wii U's with three different TVs right next to each other, four controllers connected to each,
and 7,000 cell phones because of all the people there.
Not only all the cell phones, the 3DSs, and you have more Wii U's with
different games.
Yeah, with controllers and Wii U pads connected on just the second floor alone.
Yeah,
that to me hindered the gameplay for me because I felt like I didn't really have full control of my character, which I played Mega Man and Kirby in the first 2 rounds because I was able to get 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Now, for the Best Buy one, we had to get there early.
We got there. All right. The store opened at 10. The event started at 12. What time were Ricky and I there? 9. 9.
Yeah.
So we were like, we're not, we're getting there because we wanted that coin. Yeah. Which we found out that it was going to be happening throughout the whole day apparently, but
which was great. We reserved the game at 10 o'clock, and then we were able to play the game at 12. But the coin was one thing, but then the fact that we got to
we were, I think, the third game on the Wii U, which is pretty cool.
Well, like fifth, I believe, because there was people. Which this was another thing that was great about this Best Buy, because a lot of people complain about other Best Buys around the country that the Best Buys, they were like, oh, okay, too bad you waited for all these hours and you didn't play. Tough stuff,
right?
You know?
But here, if you went on the Wednesday and waited and didn't get to play, they gave you like a pass to cut the line on Saturday. So they got first dibs on Saturday, or even if you got there at say 2:00, you got to cut the whole line because you. And so that was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
So that was a good guy Best Buy, man.
Yeah, good
at least the Palisades one. I don't know how the rest of them worked out.
And West Nyack. Now, that now the other thing that surprised, like I said, the 3DS version was being played, and how they did it was pretty cool. They just went up and down the line. Some guys with 3DSs strapped to their belts.
Yeah, there was two guys. So it means there was 4 3DSs because they had 2 each, and they would hand out like, all right, here you go. You guys want to play? First, they'd ask you if you want to play, and I'm like, is that really a question? Do I want to play the 3DS version? Of course I do. I haven't got it. Of course. Which I think the character selection was actually different on the 3DS as opposed to the Wii, so you got to try out different characters. Of course, I didn't because I'm stupid, but it's a different story.
Who was different? I forgot already.
Yoshi was on the 3DS, but not the Wii.
Yes, that's right.
I'm blanking on something else.
There was somebody else that you were. I think it was either Ike or Sheik. That's right.
Sheik was on the 3DS and not the Wii, which a lot of people are like, holy snap, yo, Sheik is on 3DS. I'm playing that. Like, I played. I played 2 rounds.
Yeah, you did.
Because Ricky went home early.
Yeah.
I stayed a second round and met some other people there. But
yeah.
I played my first round. I played Marth on both the 3DS and the Wii U.
Yes.
Of course, you're gonna win on the 3DS. You're facing bots, but we got to test the Smash Run mode. Yeah. Where that's the mode where you go around collecting the power-ups, and at the end of the game, everyone just one-shots everybody. So that's interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe it needs some tweaking. But it was fun nonetheless.
Well, remember, the game's almost... the game is closer to being done on the 3DS. I mean, it has to anyway. It's closer to being done on the 3DS than on the Wii U. So that... and it's more polished. I mean, I told you the graphics look really nice on it, and it played really smooth on the 3DS.
I was really surprised on how well that played. My only thing was that I didn't get used to the buttons right away, so I was pressing Y, which is jump, and I thought I was pressing B, and I was like, why am I jumping? I'm trying to attack. I was getting flustered a little bit, but it ended up working out fine. And then on the Wii U version, I played... Oh, who did you play on the 3DS?
Well, the 3DS version, I played Mega Man to start because I only played 1 round in the 3DS because I wasn't there later for the second one because the line got extremely long.
Actually, it wasn't that bad.
I mean, dude, when we were there at 12, the second round, like after we walked around the mall afterwards, later and got long.
Because I got on the line and you went home.
Yeah, because
I started talking to these 2 kids. They were hilarious. Dan and Dante. These dudes are hilarious.
Shout
out to these guys. They were funny. They made me laugh. But we waited maybe 45 minutes for a game.
No, dude, when I texted you when you get on the line before I left, it was about 250. I mean, no, 150 something. And by the time we shopped and everything, because my girlfriend and I did other things, we got home and I texted you about 3:10, and that's when you said you played again. So it was about an hour and some change.
No, well, I didn't get on the line right away when you were doing the shopping. I was watching the... I was watching other people play.
No, but I left when you were still watching. No, I left when you got on the line. Remember, you almost cut people in half.
So we waited like an hour, but it felt a lot less because these guys we were joking around, having fun, talking about Smash, talking about Pokemon, talking about just whatever. It was it was a fun time. I had a great time at the Smash event. So our first Wii U game, Ricky and I got to face each other.
Which is great because it's like usually a thing here. Like with our friends, we're always like, it's always like we always fight at 4, and then the last 2 are usually like Steve and I or Steve and somebody else. Like it'd be like GK.
There's 3 people down here that are actually like good at Smash, which would be myself, Ricky, and this other kid GK. Which GK has just, it's not that he's really good at 1v1. He's also good at just staying alive. But at the end of the game, I always have the most kills, but GK wins the game. Yeah. And I never understand this. I'm like, I don't get it. I'll knock out 11 out of 15 lives here, and you're the one who wins. Like, damn it, GK. But at the end of the day, or end of each round rather, it's usually me versus Ricky.
Yeah. And this time it was no surprise.
No surprise. At the end of the game, you played Wii Fit Trainer. I was playing Marth, and the other kids, they were playing. There was a Greninja. I know there was a Greninja.
Yeah, there was.
I didn't pick Greninja because I wanted to play him, but there was a Greninja already in the game, and I was like, I'm not going to be that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't remember who the other person picked, but either way.
Well, they were out. They were gone.
Yeah, they lost.
I think they had picked Link or something, and they kept falling off the stage. Like,
no,
randomly.
it wasn't Link.
Was it Link? Really? I think
it was Little Mac. It was Little Mac. It was a Little Mac.
Gotcha. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. It was.
They had a Little Mac.
It was.
So Sudden death, me versus Ricky.
What
Go
do you know?
figure. So
And-
I beat his ass.
Yeah, you got me. Like
I caught him. I caught him.
You did. You got
I dodge, roll, swipe, caught him.
Yeah. Now I tried we fit trainer because I was like I gotta try a new character. It was it was a toss up between Rosalina and we fit trainer, and I picked the guy skin, which was kind of cool. But I felt like immediately when I got there. The sound, you got to hear the music, unlike the Nintendo World, because I think maybe they had it at a decent volume. I don't know, but with all the people there and like everything going around, all the commotion, I think there was sound, but I couldn't hear most of it. So I mean, you heard a little something, but it wasn't much. But from the Best Buy game, they had the sound up, and the sound was beautiful. Like the music was great. They had Nintendo 64 versions music in there, which is great too. Yeah,
that was really cool. I like that. I like that track a lot.
And the hit sounds,
the hitbox sound like that, just the smashing sound like that, the bop bop. Like I was like, that's such a good sound. It's such a satisfying sound when you smack somebody, you just hear it. You're like, oh wow, nice.
Yeah, dude, that sound. I was like, wow, this sounds amazing. I was like, and the controller felt better, and it's only because they had it lined up differently from people getting away from the TV where the Wii U was. Yeah. But also the fact that there was no other consoles but the Wii U that was wireless.
Right.
Besides like maybe the Xbox 360.
No, the Xbox wasn't even on. I checked it wasn't even on.
Yeah, so it was no wireless interference. So I felt a lot smoother, and I felt like I had a lot more control at Best Buy than I did with Nintendo World.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, it sucks because I don't know if I mentioned this last week on last week's podcast. Nintendo World, their employees at Nintendo World asked everybody after the game, okay, what did you think? What did you want to change this, or what do you feel about this? And I felt like a lot of people might have given some mixed feedback, even though I think a lot of people had a general feeling of, mobility or other things as well. I don't think anybody complained about the GameCube controller because I think we all understood.
Yeah.
We're not going to get that yet. We talked about that.
Yeah, the Pro controller was horrible, but it's not. There are people who like it. Good for you. It's just not it's not my thing.
Yeah. And especially, dude, I already got my reserve on the adapter on that bundle. Nice. I had to.
Yeah, nice. I expected you would because you said you would.
So now to end this Smash Bros, because I know we talk about Smash Bros a lot in this podcast.
Well, I also want to say that going back to the sounds.
Yeah.
I noticed that there was like the massive like the power sounds.
Yes.
And there was also the swiping sounds too, for like the jab kind of moves.
Yeah.
Those are pretty cool.
Now, what did you think? Because now I got to talk about what I thought about it a little bit, and I think my opinion has changed because of playing it in a different
different environment.
Yeah. What did you think of the game?
I can't wait. Like I'm still like maybe it's just a little bit of a Smash bias in me, but I didn't think the game was as horrible as everyone's been saying it is.
All the trolls online or
right,
like the pros.
Like
or
there's the people who are complaining about the game, like just that. Like they're just complaining about how it's not melee, and I'm like, well, get over it because it's not going to be melee.
Yeah,
they took out tripping. That should be good enough. Like they took out tripping. It's a little bit faster pace. Like that should be good enough for you.
The mobility, though, like not wave dashing, but at least something that moves. And I feel like the game was fast. It wasn't as fast as Melee, but it definitely was faster than Brawl. Maybe even Project M fast.
Yeah. Well, speaking of fast, actually, because I didn't get to talk about my second round.
Yes, that's right.
On the 3DS, I picked Greninja because I was like, I'm not leaving this place without trying Greninja once, because that's who I was hyped about. Like I saw the video and I flipped my brains. So 3DS, I picked Greninja, and he was exactly what I thought he'd be. Super fast, lots of attacks, no damage, no power.
Yeah.
So you got to hit him 7,000 times, and then maybe hit him with a smash and get the attack. So I mean, it's exactly what I thought it would be. It's kind of like a Sheik.
Mm.
But he's really like mobility wise, he's fast.
That's
like if
good.
you like that people say Captain Falcon and Fox are the fastest. Greninja's the fastest character in the game right now.
But didn't you try Fox?
Well, that's right. On the Wii U version, I played with Dan, Dante, and some random.
Some kid.
Yeah, some random. I played Fox. Dante played Rosalina. I forgot who Dan and the random played somebody interesting, because I was like, ooh, that's an interesting pick. Can't remember who it was.
Samus?
What?
Samus?
Zero Suit.
Oh, Zero Suit.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, Zero Suit.
Yep.
And then I don't remember who Dan picked. But anyway, it doesn't matter because sudden death once again. I picked Fox, and I was up against Rosalina, and I got caught. I got caught. So, it was a good game to Dante. It was pretty cool. We played on Pilot Wings.
Oh, okay.
So I spawned on the lower level. He spawned on the upper level. So I was immediately at a disadvantage.
Ah.
So I jumped up and I tried to hit A, but I hit B.
The up A? Oh, no. Oh.
Because I was on the Pro Controller.
Yeah.
And so if you don't know Fox's B, it's just the stupid lasers that don't have any knockback, no nothing. It's just straight damage. So I hit him with a laser, and he hit me with Luma, and I went flying, and I was like, God damn it. So, whatever. It is what it is. It was fun.
There's more play to come, definitely.
Definitely more play to come, and it was definitely a good time. Fox sucks, by the way. I had to get that off my chest. Like, I love Fox. Fox is one of my favorite characters, as well as Falco. Fox sucks.
Yeah.
Fox is so nerfed. Oh, I can't take it.
But you think Marth is actually pretty good, even though Ken himself and other players who played him.
Maybe it's because I won with Marth. I'm saying he's good, but I really didn't notice too much bad about Marth.
Oh, except the
people are saying his range is lower, but
the recovery.
Oh, right. So if you've ever played Marth, the side B usually lets you float, move a little bit closer. Not in this game. I was hitting side B and I was staying in place and falling down. I was like,
but you know what?
Oh, why is this happening? This isn't Marth. What is this? And that disappointed me a lot.
But I think the recovery is really good in that game. Like I was very hard to knock out, even as a Wii Fit trainer. Like I thought Mega Man was a little overpowered because everybody basically won as Mega Man, whoever was Mega Man.
I saw a lot of Mega Mans winning, a lot of Little Macs winning. But even though I feel like Little Mac is not that, he's good, but I don't think he's that great.
Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of people have said online that I've read that they feel Little Mac would be more powerful on Final Destination versus any other stage.
Right, but I don't know. I after watching Little Mac a lot, I didn't play him, but I just saw a lot of, how do you say, he gets dominated in the air a lot.
Yeah, but that's the thing that even
you have to keep your feet on the ground, and he's so powerful on the ground, but he has no recovery because of how bad he is in the air.
That's the thing. Sakurai had made him that way on purpose. Like, in the air he sucks.
He was meant to be.
Yeah,
right. And it really shows because if you were putting people in the air as Little Mac and jumping up trying to hit them, and you were doing nothing in the air.
Like I like the recovery because I feel like the recovery is almost like Brawl, where it's like infinite. Like you could come back no matter what.
Yeah.
Even though one kid that was standing next to me playing in that one round, he was like, "Oh man, no recovery," and I had to say right after, "Dude, the recovery's great." Like I don't know, because I got knocked out I think once in the whole match. I think that's how we ended up with it. Like I got
knocked off twice.
Yeah,
as Marth.
But
apparently I got enough kills to make up for it. Which I swear to God, at the end of that game, I was like, "Oh crap, I lost because I don't think I got any kills." Apparently, like sudden death between me and Ricky. What? I didn't get any kills. How did I get sudden death?
I don't even remember the score at the end. It was just so much hype.
I think
fun.
we were both +2.
Yeah, really? Oh, okay.
And then I guess the sudden death put me +3, but I didn't remember getting any kills. But apparently I got enough to. Apparently I got 4 because if I was at -2 from falling twice.
Yeah.
Because one of my deaths happened because I was hitting up A instead of up B because the Pro Controller.
Yeah.
But it's whatever.
Yeah, but then that GameCube controller is going to come along and make things a lot better.
Definitely.
So, and our verdict is Smash Bros. Seems to be good. We would definitely. I actually liked it more at Best Buy than I did at Nintendo World, so I'm definitely like more hyped for that game. And the music sold me even more. Like I was very concerned about the music more so anyway. So the music definitely, I'm comfortable with the music.
Definitely.
So that's about it for our Smash stuff and also E3 stuff. I think that's basically everything that's we covered, except for maybe some Nintendo stuff, which they had mentioned that they want to continue the series of Metroid, where they're still considering, not only just making a 3D version of the Samus, of the Metroid series in the future, but they also want to possibly focus on a 2D version of the game too. They don't want to focus on just one or the other. They want to do both.
Right, which that would, by 2D, I'm assuming they mean like how they did on the Game Boy Advance games and the Game Boy games, and just like the side-scrolling things where you're going up and down the levels and going through doors and stuff.
SNES, NES, those kind of games, yeah. But because there's still an audience for those, and then there's still the audience that love Metroid Prime.
Right, but then that's what they mean by the 3D one, like Metroid Prime, Other M, just better versions of those games where that's like the adventure kind of game where you're actually aiming your gun instead of just shooting sideways.
And jumping, rolling.
Jump and shoot, man.
Yeah.
To quote Ego Raptor from Mega Man. Jump and shoot, man.
So So that's a good thing that Nintendo's also going. And another thing that's not E3 related, but something that is mentioned on the Nintendo eShop is the fact that they were announcing that there's going to be more Game Boy Advance games in the future, but also Nintendo 64 games in the future. So that could be interesting where that's going to go.
Yeah.
So hopefully, finally, we get some Nintendo 64 and more virtual console games, because that's a lot of things that the people have complained about. Even though I even feel some type of way about Nintendo's way of going about putting virtual console games, because why am I going to still pay more money for something I bought already?
Like, my 64 still works just fine. I actually was playing it the other day.
So what were you playing on it?
Smash.
Of course.
I got home from Best Buy and I was like, I need to play Smash. So I plugged in my 64. I played a couple games there, and then I plugged in my Wii. Played a couple games on the Wii. Tripped a couple times, shut it off, and said I hate this game. And that's how it goes.
But you have Project M.
Yeah, but I don't know. Playing Project M by yourself is.
Yeah, it is kind of lame.
Same.
It is kind of lame. Unless you're going to do like a training pack like you do for Melee.
Plus, I don't have the updated Project M, so it's missing Roy, Yoshi. It's missing the updated, like the Kirby. It's missing all the updated characters. So I'm like, I don't feel like playing it. So I put Brawl in, which was a huge mistake, because I tripped like 4 times in one game within like, I don't know, 10 minutes. And I was like, I hate this game. Whoever did this should be fired. God.
But and you know what though? I played the 64 version of Smash maybe like once or twice in my life, and I don't own it. So I am looking into buying one, even though it's kind of expensive online. I've seen the prices. I'm like, really? It's $50 online? Seriously? So I don't know. Even though I saw it at one of my local game shops for $25, but I didn't trust it because some pins were missing, it looked like to me, and it was rusting on the inside. Like, that little, I was like, nah.
Don't trust it.
Nah, I wouldn't trust it. He was like, $25, you buy it. I was like, nah, son, nah. I can't do that. So speaking
$5.
of yeah, exactly.
$5, I can take it.
Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't work, then I have a hunk of plastic that I can probably change
Paperweight.
But speaking of buying games and such, the world's largest video game collection, which was right here in New York, upstate, the guy who owned like over 11,000 video games, has sold the entire collection. Now,
which finding a buyer for that's impressive.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna say that, like, that's impressive that someone would be like, yeah, I'll take all 11,762 games, like, or however many it was. But,
yeah, he just made up a number.
Yeah, it was close enough. 11,000 something. I don't know.
Yeah, just about. Now, he had sold it at the beginning of the month, and it was slowly selling. The final amount it ended up being $750,250 for every single game this man owns, which a lot of articles that I've read have estimated the prices, which would be about $68 per game. So it's kind of like you're winning and losing with every game, where you can, like, you bought $68 for a game that you would buy that's $1 versus, you bought a game that was $68 that's probably worth a couple of $100.
Right.
So
there's probably some games in that collection that are impossible to find.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got maybe one of, like, however many copies exist, maybe 30 copies exist. He's got one of them. So that game might be worth $200. I got it for $68. But that game, there's a million of that game. It's worth $2. I bought it for $68. So it's you win and lose, but you now have the world's largest video game collection.
No, the only thing I wonder is who and why.
Who would buy $750,000 worth of video games?
Who had that enough of money to have that? I mean, come on, I need that money. Come on, we need to say.
Yeah, we're broke.
Broke gamers.
Some people just have too much money. So
yeah, but I really
good
hope
for you, but damn, you suck. I hate you.
You're right, though, but I really hope that it's going to like a museum, hopefully, like, or something like that, a video game museum somewhere, like at least that. Like,
that's an interesting thought, or some guy maybe just wants to have it.
Yeah, some guy's gonna have it in his house, look at it every day in his underwear.
Yeah, I got the best video game collection in the world. Good for you.
Good for you, man. Now, speaking of buyouts or buying stuff, Capcom's for sale.
I just don't have words for this. It's interesting.
Well, if you guys don't know, Capcom announced the other day that it's not going to be renewing its Takeover Defense, which it's been doing that defense since 2008. So now they decided, no, not going to do it anymore, and they're looking to someone to buy the company, or at least buy a majority stock of their company, which leads the question to who's going to buy it.
Which I had originally thought, oh, maybe Nintendo, but then that would be weird because Marvel vs. Capcom games would be exclusive on the Wii U, which would be stupid.
That would be weird. Just, you know what? We're going to release the next Street Fighter exclusively on the Wii U. Like, that wouldn't make any sense. But,
right, so.
But, I mean, it's not like Nintendo hasn't worked with Capcom before. Like, look at the Zelda games. Now, you're thinking Nintendo, but I was thinking Disney would buy it.
Right, well, it's that, then you'd have
Marvel vs. Capcom.
Marvel vs. Capcom with Disney, then yeah, whatever. You could still release it on all the consoles. That would be weird because the next Kingdom Hearts, the final boss would be like Akuma.
Yeah.
Sora brings the Keyblade. I'm Akuma. I'm gonna kick you in the face. That's weird.
Yeah, like have Ryu and Guile in Kingdom Hearts helping you out with like Mickey Mouse. Like that's a strange thought.
I kind of feel like Capcom characters just don't fit in the Disney universe.
Well, look at Marvel characters. There's Marvel characters in the Disney universe now. So
yeah, but it's
Spider-Man and Mickey
it's
Mouse.
all kinds of wrong. It just shouldn't exist. Like I understand why Disney does this because Disney's greedy.
Yeah.
But hey, whatever. Good for them.
It's true though. Other than that, some odd news. Destiny, the big game that's going to be coming out on every console in the next couple of months, especially. Yep. Funny enough, that game is only going to be coming out for Sony's consoles in Japan only.
Because I feel like the Microsoft consoles don't really exist in Japan.
And I think you're right on that. Like, there wasn't an official explanation to why, but I really do feel like it's a duh thing. Like, okay, yeah, this is a...
well, because it's no secret that Microsoft doesn't sell well in Japan.
No. And I mean, the Xbox One actually surpassed, like... No. Actually, the Wii U a couple of months ago in Japan had surpassed the Xbox 360 lifetime sales, which, was a couple of million.
Yeah.
And it was like, damn, I mean, like, it barely sold. And meanwhile, Microsoft is still adventurous and saying, okay, we're going to sell the Xbox One in a couple of months.
Well, because Microsoft is a U.S. company, while Nintendo and Sony are both Japanese companies. So, obviously, that's why when you look at sales here, Xbox is through the roof. But I think all the consoles sell pretty well here, except for the Wii U. It's making its way back up
there. Yeah.
But in Japan, it's kind of just like no one really cares about the Xbox in Japan.
Yeah.
So it's all Wii U and it's all PS4.
Yeah, they have their games on PC that they can play where they do their dating games and such.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then beyond that, some quick other game news, because we did talk a lot about Smash. Grand Theft Auto, like we talked about last week, was going to be announced. It was announced at E3 to come out for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Now, for the PC version, expect it to be more enhanced for PC. What Rockstar was saying that they want to take full advantage of the PC can do with higher resolution, graphic detail, denser traffic, greater draw distances, upgraded AI, and advanced weather and damage effects. And also there's going to be a new wildlife and video editing maker as well for the PC version, which is just like, at least you're going to add those perks because, PC fans have waited that long.
Well, because the PCs, not only have they waited forever for the game, but PCs also master race. You can do so much with a computer. Why not utilize every single thing you can do?
Yeah.
It's no, again, I hate this phrase I keep using, no secret, but it's no secret that a computer can have a 10,000 times better graphics than a PlayStation and an Xbox.
Yeah, and that's why this gaming generation is so weird because this is like the first time that a lot of the consoles, maybe not the first time, but where the newer consoles are already almost outdated. Where in the past they were like the best things you could play things on, and especially with the quality of games that were coming up for the consoles versus PC, like there were different qualities and different type of games. But now that everything's almost like cross-platform or multi-platform at this point, the other consoles don't really have enough competition unless people don't want to go for the PCs. People still are comfortable with having a console and playing it on their TVs at home and whatnot.
And I know people are gonna attack me like, "Hey, how dare you say that?" Like, don't get me wrong, the graphics on the new consoles are great. I think it's like almost like they look almost real. Like they look like it's real people in the game. But just there's so much that, the best graphics card for a PC way outdoes the best graphics capability of an Xbox One or a PS4. Because we all know the Wii U is not there.
It's not a powerhouse, but it still has some pretty good. Like Mario Kart 8's graphics are impressive as hell.
Yeah, but it's really not. They're not on par.
Yeah, they're not. They're not like high end PC quality type. And even though it could be upgraded, like look at some of the Wii games emulated on Dolphin. They've up-res it up to 1080p, like the newer Zelda that came out, and other games as well, and even games on GameCube. So I mean, it could be possible, and it could look better. Yeah. But the thing is, of course, the Wii U is not being emulated yet.
Yes.
But there's a chance for it to survive and actually look that good. So other things, PS4s are actually kind of acting like PCs now because now they're going to allow preloading for PS4 games. So you can download a game, before it comes out. They've announced that feature.
Nice.
That's like PC games, which it has its plus and minuses, but yeah. Rockstar delayed the Grand Theft Auto 5 heist that they have for online play, which they've been hyping for a while now, and they're apologizing because now they have to delay it again. So far, there's no release date, but who knows where that's gonna go.
I didn't know people still play Grand Theft Auto.
I know how you feel about Grand Theft Auto.
I feel like it's one of those things that Titanfall exists and the new Call of Duty game exists. Like I feel like there's things out now that people who still play Grand Theft Auto 5. What are you doing? But hey, if you do, good for you.
Good.
I'm glad you have fun.
Shigeru Miyamoto, during E3, had actually tested out the Oculus Rift, and which he's known for doing that. He loves with other companies as well. They love looking at the other things that are going on. They're not just limited to their own stuff. They want to see what other people have invented in gaming too, and how Miyamoto views virtual reality is weird considering the Virtual Boy.
I love this quote.
Yeah, he puts it like this. When you think about what virtual reality is, which is one person putting in some goggles and playing by themselves, kind of over in a corner, or maybe they go into a separate room and they all spend their time alone playing in that virtual reality. That's in direct contrast to what we're trying to achieve with the Wii U. And so I have a little bit of uneasiness with whether or not it's the best way for people to play.
Right, because I feel like Nintendo has always been the kind of like, hey, play this game with your friends. Like, Mario Party, play with your friends. Mario Kart, play with your friends. Smash. Play with your friends. There's like, if you're going to be losers together. So that's how I feel like Nintendo's always been. So to have them do virtual reality where you now are a loser by yourself, it's it's a little different.
I mean, the Oculus just have some interesting things, but the way that was put, it's like, wow, you really are just playing alone. Like, there is no online multiplayer virtual reality game that nobody thought of yet. It's
right.
all the games that are being made for the Oculus Rift are really solo games.
Yeah.
Except for, like, some of the games they modded, like there's Team Fortress for the Oculus Rift and such like that, but there really isn't a lot of those multiplayer and type of games.
Yeah.
So final news before we get into our next part of the show. The producer of the Zelda series did talk about the Link, or the character of the new Zelda, being a female, and he never really confirmed or denied it, but he's not against a female protagonist being in the Zelda series.
Well, because he openly said that he hears the fans. He hears what, also that goes to Majora's Mask as well.
Yeah, he says he hears the fans on that one for sure.
In Link Between Worlds, there's the Majora's Mask on the wall.
That's correct.
So people are like, oh, is it Majora's Mask for the 3DS? So, yeah, why not? But he says he hears the fans, and it's quite a big possibility.
Yeah, he says here that she's not the protagonist, Zelda, speaking of, but if you ask me what it is, what that is, I don't know. I can't really explain. Maybe if she's the main character, then maybe the title needs to change. So, that's how he feels about that too. But also, in another article, he talked about how he's not against it.
Yeah.
But he wants to see if there is going to be a female lead. He wants to see how well the Hyrule Warriors does first.
Yeah. So I wonder if they could do like a flip-flop kind of thing. Like if you choose to play as Link, you rescue Zelda. If you choose to play as a female character, will there be a male thing that you rescue?
I don't know.
Would they do that? Switch that world around?
Who knows? It would be interesting, honestly, because it would be the real Legend of Zelda, wouldn't it? Because the Legend of the Zelda is just this
Link.
guy saving her.
Yeah, right. The Legend of Zelda is really the Legend of Link.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see where that goes. Who knows? But that's it for our first part of the show. Our second part of the show is coming up soon, so stay tuned to Broke Gamers.